My first experience with a bike wasn't exactly a good one.
Are you alright, Danny?
No problem.
But now, riding my bike is a type of meditation for me. It gives me a chance to slow down, think, reflect, and take in my surroundings. When I'm on the bike, I feel free. And in the summer of 2016, I was craving an adventure, so I grabbed my passport, tent, sleeping bag, camera glasses, solar panel, a few other things, stuffed them all in a couple of bags, took apart my bike, put it in a box, and headed to the San Francisco airport. From there, I took a flight across the United States, over the Atlantic Ocean, and landed in Italy. The plan was to start just outside of Rome, bike to the Swiss Alps, where I'll be working on a farm for a couple weeks, jump back on the bike, and eventually end in Amsterdam. Besides those 3 places, I didn't know where I was going to go or what I was going to see. Once I put my bike back together, I loaded it with 40 pounds of gear and headed north.
First day in Italy! No shoulder, kinda sketchy. Heading into Rome.
They say that all roads lead to Rome. Well, this particular road led me through garbage-filled areas, over shanty towns, and past women who were standing on the side of the road. It wasn't exactly how I imagined Italy, but after 20 miles, I reached the eternal city, Rome. While passing through Rome, I met a cyclist who told me about an epic mountain pass in northern Italy called the Stelvio, so I decided to make my way in that direction.
Hey buddy, you coming with me? Alright, lead the way. Let's go, come on, let's go to Amsterdam. Let's do it, you ready? Let's go to Amsterdam. Come on buddy.
Once I crossed into Tuscany, I felt really welcomed by the local, friendly Italians.
Buongiorno, scusa, c'è un mercato qua, vicino di qua? Mercato per comprare un panino.
No, beh, il negozio.
Il negozio, ok.
No, c'è il bar, se no
C'è il bar?
a Bissi.
Si vorrei per Bisi.
Sì.
No,
a questo negozio lì vi vuole il panino. Il panino lì. Lì alla curva dopo 200 metri da qui.
200. Molto grazie.
Prego.
Facile. Ciao.
Ciao.
Vuoi assaggiare?
Io? Oh, grazie.
Prego. Aspettato tanto. Di dove sei?
Io sono di California,
Ah, bello.
ma faccio un giro in Italia.
Lo sai, lui è un campione del ciclismo, questo signore qua.
Lui?
cerca di mangiare,
Oh, sì.
se no dopo in salita. Come fisico ce l'avevo anch'io così.
Oh sì?
Sì.
Come ti chiami?
Io? Daniele.
Daniele.
E lei?
Laura.
Laura, piacere. E lei?
E io Mantelli,
Mantelli.
Santi.
Santi. Tu vuoi andare con me?
No.
Andiamo.
Ce l'hai la bicicletta, Sandra?
Ah, ce l'ho, sì.
Allora
C'ho
fai-
questa.
Sì, andiamo.
E c'ho
Adesso.
la corsa, sì.
Molto grazie Laura. Ciao, grazie, piacere.
In bocca al lupo.
Grazie.
Ciao.
I'm out here in the Italian farmland right now. Got a thunderstorm behind me. Listen to that.
Feeling really good. So what I love about bike touring is each day you don't know what you're gonna see. Whoa! Sunday afternoon, warm weather, Tuscan countryside. I love Italy.
The first week of riding through Italy went real smooth, until I took a wrong turn.
I don't know what route I just took. But this definitely isn't for bicycles. What the hell am I doing? Oh, sweet. Nice. Oh, shit. Ah. Ah, I can't stop. Ah. Sketchmeister. Ah, I can't stop. Oh. I thought I was going over the handlebars for a second. Oh, my package. So, I don't know where to go now. Turns out I think I was on someone's property. I have no idea what that sign means, but I hope it doesn't mean they'll shoot me if they find me on their property. I don't know which way to go. Screw it, just go right, I guess. I don't know. What is this? What the hell am I doing? Ugh. There's something in those bushes. Dude. You hear that? It's a boar. It's a boar, dude. Dude, that thing sounded mean and big. Oh my god. Dude, get me out of here. This is sketchy. Someone's backyard? There's a dog barking at me. Oh, there's a person, I guess. Ciao. Posso entrare? Sì? Ok, grazie. Io sono molto perso. La strada è vicino di qua? Ok. Ok. Tutto giù. Allora io posso andare in bicicletta adesso? Sì. Tu pensi? Oh, bravo. Non so dove io sono stato. Madre mia. Ok, grazie, mi scusi per entrare tu casa. Ok, grazie. Ciao. Yes. Well, this isn't good. My front rack snapped. I must have hit on a rock when I was hiking through the mountains. A similar situation happened to Luke, who I rode across the country with a couple of years ago. And I just talked to him and he recommended using some shoelace to hold it together. And yeah, hopefully that works. Thanks, MacGyver.
After that long day of riding, I just wanted to crawl into my tent and go to sleep.
Trying to fall asleep next to a bar with a bunch of Italians? Not happening. This hill is steep and long. There was a direct route to Florence, but I would have missed all this beauty in the countryside. But I gotta get ready for the Stelvio Pass anyways. So might as well climb these hills.
Passing through the hill towns in Tuscany was exhausting, but I knew that the harder that I had to work to get over the hills, the sweeter the reward would be on the other side.
I'm coming for you, Stelvio Pass. I'm coming.
The steep Tuscan hills led me to the birthplace of the Renaissance, and I arrived just in time to watch the sun set over the historical city of Florence.
This road is sketchy. Sketchy! Riding through a hailstorm. I came out of nowhere. Ciao signore. Posto, grazie. Buonissima. Io prendo quelli, ma anche vorrei 2 mele. Va bene, va bene. E c'è molto, eh? This has been a nice surprise. The region outside of Bologna, heading northeast, is full of bike paths.
The riding was easy for a few days on the bike paths, but the further north I rode, the more I could feel that I was riding up a steady, gradual incline, which could only mean one thing. The Stelvio Pass was coming. In order for me to cross into Switzerland, I had to ride over the second highest mountain pass in the Alps, which featured a 5,000-foot climb and 48 switchbacks.
All right, let's do this.
As I stood at the top of the Stelvio Pass, I looked off into the distance and realized that this was just the beginning of my experience in the mountains.
I can't wait to ride down that.
The windy roads of the Stelvio led me into the mountainous country of Switzerland, and over the course of the next 5 days, I climbed over 6 mountain passes with a total elevation gain of 19,650 feet.
Only for his fame. Sky is not seen for many days.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
Gonna have to ride over those mountains tomorrow. Whew. It's gonna be a tough one for sure. Oh. That's intimidating. After checking the weather report, I learned that the forecast for the day was freezing rain and the temperature was gonna drop into the low 30s. As I watched the storm clouds roll in over the mountains, I contemplated what I was gonna do. After putting some thought into it, I decided to ride. I'm so cold, dude. Oh, so cold. Oh. There was hardly anybody on the road because of the bad weather, and I felt like I had the entire mountain to myself as I dropped down into the clouds.
Hallo, das ist ein Restaurant hier?
Yes.
Yes? Ein Person für Abendessen.
Kein Problem, du kannst frei
Okay.
Auswahl.
Merci vielmals.
Since 1958, huh?
Oh, James Bond.
Yes. On Goldfinger, and that's the Foka pass. Huh?
Oh, this is the Fortica
Yes,
Pass?
you can see it on the...
Oh, this
Tomorrow
is...
you drive it, huh?
Tomorrow I go on the
Yes.
same road as James
Yes,
Bond?
And you see it. And next time you look at the video Goldfinger, huh?
Goldfinger.
Yes. And then you can see it from the top, huh?
Oh, cool.
When I left town the next morning, I had no idea that I was about to have one of the greatest bike rides of my life.
Got some mountains to climb. So that mountain pass way farther in the distance over there, that's what I rode through yesterday. Couldn't see anything going down that mountain pass. So that's what I missed, I guess.
I love traveling by bike because I can feel the contours of the land, and it helps me truly experience the environment that I'm in.
Oh my God.
During the Fortica Pass, I heard the water running off the mountain, felt the cold air on my face, the burn in my legs, and it's moments like these that connect me to the land that I'm riding through.
Hi. Morgen. Yeah.
After climbing 5 mountain passes in 4 days, I started to feel exhausted, but there was still one more mountain pass to cross before I reached the village, where I planned to stop and work for a couple weeks. As I made the final climb to the top of the mountain, the sound of cowbells foreshadowed the next chapter in my journey as they echoed throughout the valley.
This is definitely gonna be a fun one.
Home. For the next 6 weeks, I stayed in a tiny village that was tucked away in the corner of the Swiss Alps, where the way of life was simple, peaceful, and traditional.
Sally.
I felt so lucky to stay with Mr. and Mrs. F, a married couple whose ancestors had lived on the mountain for hundreds of years. Mrs. F loved spending time growing vegetables in her garden, and every night we sat down for dinner together and enjoyed the fresh food that she harvested. Mr. F was a man who had a deep appreciation for the land that he lived on. Farming wasn't his job, it was his life, and he was proud to keep the old-fashioned farm culture alive. In regards to communicating with each other, I only spoke a little bit of German, so when we couldn't understand each other, we would just use our hands. Once we figured out how to communicate, it was time to go to work, and the first thing that we had to do was herd the cattle high up into the mountains, where they would stay for the summer to make cheese.
Have a nice summer, ladies.
After we brought the cows to the hut where the farmers made the cheese, they invited us in to show us how the cheese was made. This was as fresh, local, and organic as it gets. Every 3 weeks, the farmers would send a fresh batch of cheese and butter down the mountain, and the people of the village would sell it in the local markets.
This is the first batch of cheese from the cows that we took to the Alps last month. 700 pounds. Some good cheese right there. We had to try it out. Had to take a bite. That's for dinner tonight.
While the cows were making cheese and butter up the mountain, we shifted our focus to making hay on the incredibly steep hills of the village.
Good morning. It's a beautiful morning. Sun shines out. Got a lot of hay to make.
In the first half of the day, I would use a scythe to cut the grass in the steepest parts of the field. Once we finished cutting the grass, we tossed it with a pitchfork and let the sunshine dry it out. I couldn't help but feel a sense of inner peace as I spent the mornings making hay in the mountains, and the constant rhythm of flipping the pitchfork up and down was extremely calming and soothing for my soul. In the afternoons, we loaded the grass onto a giant tarp, and then we let gravity take over.
Oh.
When we had to bring the grass up the mountain, Mr. F would embrace his Swiss heritage and do it like his ancestors used to.
This is why his nickname is Superman. Tschüss.
When we worked on a field that was outside of the village, we had to load the grass onto a truck before we brought it into the barn. After we brought the grass to the barn, we unloaded it from the truck and put it into a machine that sucked it up into the loft. The final task that we had to do was spread out the hay, and the goal was to fill the entire barn with hay to provide the cows with enough food to last through the winter. After spending 6 weeks in the village, I gained a new understanding of what it meant to live a simple life. Mr. and Mrs. F didn't overload their lives with material possessions, but instead they focused on more important things, like spending time with their family, preserving their culture, and being a positive influence in their community. When the time came to say goodbye, I was sad because I felt like I was leaving my family, but the road was calling me, and the journey was unfinished.
It's not over now. Don't lay your flag and turn away. It's not over now. Not this way. So blow a kiss and wrap me up in darkness. Make it quick before feeling sticks and holds. I can't see no other way to come. So pick up your bags and we can start something new again. It's not over now. Don't lay your flag and turn away.
Back to common mountain passes. I ate way too much cheese and I'm struggling.
I didn't have much of a plan once I left the village, so I just decided to follow the rivers that were flowing in the direction of Austria. The old covered bridge led me into the Austrian Alps, but instead of riding over the mountains, I rode through tunnels that were carved into the mountains. Most of the tunnels were great because they were traffic-free, but one day I made the mistake of riding into the Tunnel of Doom.
Super sketchy. I have to ride on the sidewalk right there. If my bags hit the wall, it's gonna throw me into traffic. Dankeschön. Oh, danke vielmals. Ik weet niet, ik kan niet varen hier in dit, ik weet niet, ja.
The wrong way.
The wrong way, ja. Yeah, Achtung in here, niet good. 14 kilometers.
14 kilometers. Wow. What's your name?
Sebastian.
Sebastian, I'm Daniel. Thank you, Sebastian. Yeah. Did you see me and then turn around?
We have for tunnel the cameras in the tunnel.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, very good. Yeah, thank you, Sebastian.
No problem.
Thank you. Oh, very nice. All right, much better. And I'm alive. Ik ben niet dood.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So many cars in this way.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes. All right, Sebastian. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Ciao. After Sebastian dropped me off, I rode through a region of Austria that was filled with apple orchards, which offered a great place to take a rest and grab a snack. It seemed like no matter where I went, there were plenty of fresh apples to eat. There were even towns that had bushes that were shaped like apples. Being able to eat as many apples as I wanted to was like a dream come true, but then I chose the wrong tree to eat from.
Dude, some angry farmer just got mad at me because I ate his apples. Threatened me with a gun. Shit. Dude, I gotta...
Getting shot at while riding through Austria was not exactly something that I expected to happen, but I'm pretty sure the farmer was just trying to scare me. Either way, I got the hell out of there as quick as I could.
The sun's starting to go down now, so it's time to find a place to camp. Should I pay money to camp here tonight? With all these RVs? No thanks. Alright, let's see what's down here. Nice! Definitely staying here tonight.
Nobody trips like I do. You can hardly see through. Nobody gives me quite like I do myself. My mind's my own, and it's not the same. I felt my spirit fly away. But I know it's mine until my dying day.
The natural resources in Austria made it real easy to ride through the country, but as soon as I crossed the border into Germany, it seemed like I just couldn't catch a break.
Are you serious? I thought that stuff only happens in the movies. I'm lost. And I'm in the sketchy part of town. So literally the worst thing that could have happened just happened. I was replacing the tube on this tire, and this piece right here, there's something that screws on there and tightens it to hold the tire in place. It fell into the water, and now I have no idea how I'm supposed to screw that on. Alright, this is the sketchiest repair job of all time. What I did was this piece right there, I tied that with shoelace onto the frame. And then I took the shoelace off the front rack that was broken, and I tied it to this side. And hopefully that stabilizes my tire and keeps it in place when I'm riding. I think the tire is going to fall off, but we'll see. And the front rack's just screwed. The bag scrapes when I turn, but that's okay. This is pretty ridiculous. My whole bike is basically being held together by 2 pairs of shoelaces. Beautiful area though. I want to find a place to sleep next to that castle. And that's a spot down there. Gotta get down there somehow. Yeah, right down there. Not a bad spot to sleep. Good morning. Alright, it's time to find a bike shop so I can fix my tire.
For the next couple of hours, I rode through small medieval towns searching for a bike shop, and I eventually came across a man who ran a bike shop out of his garage.
Ik habe kein Problem mit meinem Bicyclette. Ich nicht habe. Ich nicht habe das.
Oh, okay.
Ja. Okay, that's good, yeah.
It was a huge relief to get the bike part that I needed, and once I got my bike all fixed up, I left the medieval towns of Germany behind and spent the next 4 days cruising on the Dutch bike paths in the direction of Amsterdam.
Biking in Holland's so fun.
Once I arrived in Amsterdam, I instantly fell in love with the city because everybody was riding a bike, which created a real special energy that you could actually feel. It seemed like all the people were just so happy, and I really believe part of the reason was because everybody was on a bike, breathing in the fresh air, connecting with the world around them, and getting exercise. I saw all types of people riding bikes around the city, and I even came across a man who invented his own unique bicycle.
Hi, I'm Michael Killian. I'm an inventor, and this is one of my inventions, the sideways bike or the snowboard bike. If you're going to build a bicycle, you're going to end up coming to Amsterdam sooner or later because it's the bicycle capital of the world. So I'm out for a few months riding around Europe with maybe a month in Holland, and then to go to Copenhagen and into Germany just to ride my bike. So I'll get up on it now and give you a bit of a demonstration.
It was real special to spend some time in Amsterdam, but something just didn't feel right about staying in a hotel the last couple days of my trip. So I loaded the bags back on my bike, stocked up on supplies, and rode out to the countryside.
Hello. Man, it feels good to be out here in Holland. Finally got that warm sunshine I've been waiting for all summer. I'm sweaty, thirsty, hungry, tired, and looking for a place to camp. It's a good bike touring day. All right, I think I found a spot. Perfect. With a windmill to keep me company.
After setting up my tent by the windmill, I came across some horses that were grazing in a nearby pasture. It was such a peaceful setting, so I just sat there as the sun went down and reflected on all the things that happened on this journey. When I woke up the next morning, I tried to figure out how I wanted to celebrate the final day of my trip across Europe. And after weighing my different options, there was really only one thing that I wanted to do. Go for one last ride. I didn't exactly know what to expect when I set off on this journey back in Rome, and it's hard to put into words the feelings that I experienced while on this bike ride. But I did learn that the bike touring lifestyle can liberate your soul, and no matter how much time passes by, I often find myself daydreaming about that special summer where my two wheels led me to freedom.